how to apply sama in daily life. One of the 6 mental treasures. You see that when we have a right knowledge, right behavior, living with the 6 treasures, we become a seeker, and the seeker always succeeds. This is the most important step in the journey of the self discovery or succeeding in meditation. But here, our master says that the right knowledge should be done by discernment, because discernment, viveka, gives us understanding, gives us the clarity. So if clarity is not there, so that very clarity starts pulling the mind on the path of Shreyas. You see that these words now, it should become your vocabulary in daily life. So what is Shreyas? Shreyas means what is right and good. Then what is right and good? The right never changes. It is independent. And what is that right is my real self. So if we join those dots in the intellect, that intellect remains free from delusion, ignorance. An example, the Stephen is looking like this. Now mind changes its behavior. Why he is looking like this? Why he has this? You see that? So there is no discernment here. That is one example, simple, that happens in our daily life. Now see that for a moment. Now we all are seekers. For a while, just for a minute, remove discernment, remove dispassion, and also remove 6 treasures from life. What is left? Think of it. What is left? The mind says we are created by the matter, that's why we are body, and we will dissolve into the same matter. Birth and the death are the facts. So what will happen to the mind now? Now see the behavior of the mind. The behavior of the mind will focus on eat, drink, and be merry. Think of this. Because I will search, find everything with reference to the matter. Because I am matter. More wealth, egoistic life. Less wealth, depression, duality, and a conflict and a problem. Think of this. So when you think like this, the intellect says this is what the life is. Pleasure-seeking life. Postpone the aging process. I will die today, so let me postpone. I will die after 10 years. What I will be doing for 10 years, the same suffering, same pain, same problem, same conflict. So that is why I want to extend my life. We do not think in this way. That is why to become a seeker, we use this discernment, dispassion, 6 treasures. I understand. No, I cannot pay you so much. Okay. So go to the gas station and tell the person, I cannot pay you, fill the gas. Go to the restaurant. There we have a right logic. So that mind is totally obsessed with the matter. So we are lost, and mind starts working on us. World influences us at every point. Do you see that fact? You go to the workplace, you work, you live in the family with the family members. Oh, I lost this money, I gained this money. The mind is 24 by 7 busy in the matter. That is the reason of my sorrow and the suffering. I am different from the matter. So, becoming a seeker gives you the clarity that I am not, this car belongs to me, but I do not belong to the car. That is the higher level of discernment. Think of it. Think of it. So, when you think of it, then we start with becoming a seeker. And when we become a seeker, seeker never fades. Seeker endures in peace and calmness. That seeker lives the life with a focus on the real self. Because I cannot accept to be unhappy. And I have realized that this unhappiness comes because I treat myself as matter. So, as long as I treat myself as a matter, forget about peace and happiness. Body is matter, mind is matter. So, what happens? Then we will pick up this summa. No, we discussed the knowledge, intellect, behavior, mind. So when we start the process of discernment, viveka, three factors are there. Can you recognize the three factors? One is the knowledge from the teachings. Second is the teacher, and third is the seeker. Clear? Now, the second step of discernment starts when you start thinking while sitting with a closed eye. We always, sometimes we think through the mind. So when you are closed your eyes in thinking, you are not a seeker. "Oh, I have to do this. I lost the money and I did this." We already know that you lost the money. We already know that you have the profit. Why to repeat? But we repeat. That is behavior. Intellect is not there. So, second level of discernment means that you close your eyes. Here are also three factors. We are going to understand what it means by revelation. So, but teacher is not there. Knowledge is there, and you are there. Two factors are visible. Third factor is invisible. Can you guess? Third factor is known as guru. What is that guru means? Understand that. This body guru is not there. Guru means ignorance to knowledge. You are applying the knowledge to move away from ignorance. That is the power of discernment when you start thinking within yourself, sitting alone, or during the day. So that discernment invokes the invisible Guru that is always present within us, with us, for us. Are you getting it? So once by constant contemplation and thinking over these principles, that invisible guru appears in your intellect. So that is why outside we adore, we respect our guru. So that starts bridging the gap between the knowledge and the behavior, and the dispassion takes place. Dispassion number one. Two, you start recognizes that there are certain behaviors, actions which are more impulsive in nature, instinctive in nature, and it is not going. So we have six stresses. And what are those six stresses? Sama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan. Or you can simply remember the abbreviation SDUTSS, and then we will pick up one after the other. So now see the journey of the Sama. I told you that this Sama is the husband of Shanti, is a masculine. Masculine means that I have to act on the mind when it is needed. You are talking, and the next moment, mind flares up, or you start crying. Become aware, apply that. Apply that. What to apply? Sama. Discernment and dispassion are supporting you. Where? From the intellect. So when they both are supporting you, and you remember, so you don't allow the mind to carry forward any movement of stress or suffering. Why? Because stress and suffering belongs to the body and the mind, and you are not the body and the mind. That invisible guru appears. Think of it. Invisible guru appears. So that is why we say Sama is equanimity of the mind. Sama is equanimity of the mind. One thing more we need to understand, this Sama will not work in laziness or when you are always busy. Why it does not work in laziness? Because you stop thinking, you stop discernment. Why it does not work when you are always too busy? Your mind is scattered outside. Did you ever ask why you are so much busy in your life? For what you are busy? What is the end result of your busyness? I am seeking peace and happiness. Can it happen by laziness? No. Can it happen by over busyness? So the moment your intellect lives into that state, the Sama is already there. The peace is already there. That is why my master used to say that, O mind, be at peace. This will also pass. That is why my master used to say, peace is my essential nature. This is the power of the Sama. So this Sama will attack your past impressions. That includes your fear, the sense of insecurity, and will take you to the next step. Yesterday, Sam called me and he said that you guys are all thinking, girls and are thinking together. And he says that we will start listening from the session one of becoming a seeker, and then we will scribe it. I said yes, because not only you think, and if you write, we write email, we send the text for others, we never write for ourselves. We don't want, because we take it for granted. So I encourage and inspired. I think this is a wonderful thing. Sam, you not only you listen, discuss, scribe it, write it. So write your experiences and then make it a book. Let it be published that how you changed, how people changes. So that will be an inspiration for others. So I have already told you that you start living a life of a seeker by thinking, speaking, and acting. Coming back. Sama is Sama is simply mastery over the mind. What is the meaning of mastery over the mind? Make it very simple. Mastery over the ways we think, we speak, we act. That is the mastery over the mind. But this thinking, speaking, and acting should be supported by the knowledge. Knowledge comes from the discernment and dispassion. Did you get it? So, the more and more you will apply, you will discover that even in the midst of stress outside, the peace is already there inside. And that will prevent the past impressions, including you, Terry, past impressions in the body. Take that way. Understand from that perspective. Don't start thinking, I have this problem, so take it for granted, this will happen. No. So, understand this. So, in a very simple way, I used to say that mind that is scattered outside in millions of directions either causes laziness, you stop thinking, or it causes fully busyness, means I don't have a time to think whether I'm in peace or not, and let me work with the peace. So only reason is that the mind is scattered outside in millions of directions. So we have millions of thoughts, so we have millions of desires. We are seeking the desire fulfillment, which is not possible, and the sama is just opposite. Mind is gathered inside. All the threads of the mind that is scattered outside is gathered inside. So from inside, you are the seer. You see the problem, you see the solution in peace, you see the problem. Sama, first of the six treasures. So, this mastery over the mind first definitely comes from discernment and dispassion. I explained to you. Another is the very first practice I gave, what I say the relaxation practice, the four-step relaxation practice. It is about 7 or 10 minutes. So, what will happen if you are doing it regularly, maybe 3, 4 times during the day? This 10-minute practice will reduce to 5 minutes. And ultimately, what happens after a few weeks? This relaxation practice will be reduced to hardly a minute. And then it is only a matter of awareness. Mind is outside. No, If outside, yes, go inside, you become aware. All the four steps of the relaxation can be completed in 30 seconds maximum. Then you can say that you have discovered sama. Question is, are we committed to become a seeker? So we are going into the second part of the sama. One is mind is scattered outside, gathered inside. It is all a matter of awareness. It can happen instantly. If it does not happen instantly, then we need to practice. Maybe relaxation, maybe self awareness practice that I have given, in which you breathe for a minute, then do the humming, and ultimately you allow the mind to settle inside. So when you are repeating couple of times during the day, then sama is settled in you. What is going to happen in from the perspective of modern psychology? That this sama is creating a new habit of inner calm and the poise and a higher awareness to replace habits and impulsive nature. You need not to work on anger or anxiety management. You have to work on relaxation practice and self. The scientific approach, anger is there. So, anger management. There is no management in the world, there is always a mismanagement. So, more you manage, the more it returns. So our approach is totally different. Another point in the sama needs to be understood, that this sama is not present, that peace and calmness is not present in us because the mind is constantly running after likes and dislikes. You cannot find out every single day in a waking state if you have all the events that belongs to liking. Not possible. I cannot change the word. All the events are disliking. That is also not possible. But they both belong to the world. So sama means not to be influenced by anything happening outside. How? I maintain my awareness. I don't allow the world to live in me while living in the same world. Are you getting it? This is, all the three steps are nothing but cultivating the habit in the mind to be happy and peaceful all the time. You can use the word cultivation. But that cultivating this habit is based on the discernment and the dispassion. You think. And discernment number two, do you still remember? Two factors are visible. The third factor is invisible, the guru. Guru is not this body, not at all. It has nothing. It is a consciousness that triggers you. Come on, move to what is right and good. What is right and good is my consciousness, pure consciousness is my real nature. And then there's peace, This sama is always. Yeah, one more point that is also very important to think over. The mind has desires for something I do not have. Understood. I do not have food, shelter, and clothes, so what I need, let me earn. It will not cause any problem. Let that desire remain. I should be hardworking. Human means that I have to work. Life is work, work is life. Now think of it. Desire for I think I do not have. What is the second category? Desire for happiness and peace. That is missing in our mind. I am fully busy. Why? For happiness. But the desire to have happiness is missing. Do you see that? How many times your mind says, I want peace and happiness? And how many times I say that? How many times the mind says, I want money, I want car, I want clothes. Even I have 10 pairs of clothes. I don't have even 1% of happiness. I don't desire. Do you see that? Is it not a fact? So when it is a fact, then where you will get the peace? Where you will get the peace? How many times I desire with purity of the mind that, come on, mind, enough is enough. I want peace. There is a big organization in our country, Jerry. Enough is enough. They are taking care of the kids. They approached me last year. I said, your approach is also enough is enough. So I'm not a part of that. So when your approach is wrong without clarity, then it's for the sake of promotion, etc. So I'm not a part of it. Think of this. So all these four elements, if you think of it, the peace will come. And if it doesn't come, continue with the relaxation, self awareness, and even doing the regular practice that we are already doing will take you to the peace. So, next time we will take that how Dhamma, SD. So, Dhamma pertains to the sense organ. Just to give you a thought of thinking, that these sense organs are one sided windows. We have windows in our home. We can see everything from inside, but nobody can see us from outside. One sided. Sense organs are one sided windows. Why to worry? You can plug off easily, but we are not able to do it. That we will take up in our next session. So let us start our practice now.